Welcome back. I healed up between episodes, and we're pretty much good to go. I have not explored the town yet, though, because I thought maybe some people would be interested in seeing that. And I did not want to go forward without my viewers. Haha. Alright, so let's see what the armory has. I'm not expecting much here. Oh, they got... Oh, they have a silver fang. Is that what Meow already has? I don't know. And there's the white mantle. Probably a white mantle. I need to see what my guys have, because I may already have the silver fang. I'm not sure if that's one thing that I found when I was in the Nuala cave I got trapped in for freaking 5 episodes or whatever it was. Noah may already have a white mantle. Heat gun, I'm not sure how much I care about, because the gun seemed kind of cool, but like, honestly speaking, they did so little damage, and Odin is the only person who can use one, that I was like, I don't know if this is really practical use of my time. So let's see. Yeah, she already has a white mantle, so that's useless. How about Meow? Iron Fang, so a Soul Fang would be better. Yeah, I can probably justify that expense. I have a lot of money. And I will get more. Or I could get more easily. So I may as well do that. I could also buy the gun just for fun. Try it out, but I'm not gonna worry about it. No. Alright, so let's get that equipped. Wow, I have a lot of flash going on here. Some of those enemies must have been dropping it like crazy. Equip to Meow. There we go. Oops. I actually was sort of debating whether or not I wanted to walk in here, because the fly spell takes you back to the last visited church. And I thought, oh, I could just fly back to friggin' Dr. Luveno's lab. You know about Lerma trees? Oh. One of the weird, freakish barbarian guys or whatever, the rat people on another planet mentioned Lerma. I was not sure if they were going to be in the game or if that was just some piece of text they dropped. No. They grow on the... Oh, man. Okay, hold on. It was... Hold on. I'm just going to start this over because I just want to double check. Just make sure I get the name completely right. Lerma. 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 Trees. Let's see. No. Let's see. I'm gonna do an arrow. Altiplano. Altiplano. Plateau. What a silly name. Altiplano Plateau. On Dezoris. Dezoris is the ice planet I have not been to yet. Alright. How about this place? There's a village called Abion on the western edge of this island. Ooh! Abion. West of... Let's see, this town was called... Start with an L. Lore. Lore. Thanks, lady! Alright. Just got a couple more places to check here. Have you heard of the gem called the Amber Eye? Some say the Casbah dragon has one. Casbah dragon? has the amber eye. Alright. Any helpful hints in the last hut? You're gonna try and kill Lassic, I hear. That's great! I have heard that a certain crystal will block evil magic. Is it the Amber Eye? Also, this reminds me, yet again, that we should probably not boldly proclaim that we're planning to murder the person who presumably is in charge. I feel like that's the wrong way to go about trying to overthrow an evil, corrupt government. I mean, honestly speaking, like, Lassic is probably some sort of evil demon-type creature, I don't know what. He's at the very least probably a very bad person. But, like that's the thing, though, is, like, these old RPGs are kind of like cartoon shows. And that the villains were always like, I'm going to take over the world, or destroy the world. It's like, is that really... I don't know. It's always just a bad guy motive, because it makes it really easy to dislike them. And just be like, oh, he's a bad guy because he's planning to destroy the world. Yep, there's a flash. He's going to destroy or take over the world, so he must be bad. Also, I just realized that she said Abion was west of Lore, but I'm heading north of Lore. So unless this travels back around, it may not help much. That being said... Oh, I keep meaning to... No, I cannot carry anymore. No, I don't want to drop anything. Flash is not needed. Great. I need to go to another secondhand shop. I really shouldn't have visited that church. Oh, man, I have to walk back. If I had have just not visited that church, I could have flown back. Oh, man. It's fine. The XP doesn't hurt. But yeah, I was gonna say that as far as overthrowing corrupt governments go, like, I feel like most corrupt governments would be hard to overthrow in any case because they're corrupt governments. They would not let you do it peacefully or non-peacefully if they had a say in it. But peacefully would be sort of optimal. Less violence, the better. Then, of course, you know, freaking... I don't know, it just seems like nobody likes Lassic except for the freaking stormtroopers that work for him. It's actually something that's always kind of bothered me about... Man, freaking spiders. A lot of shows, games and stuff. Like, stories in general. It's like... someone is clearly evil and corrupt, and, like, you know, it's not hard to tell that you're working for the bad guy. It's like, you just be like, okay, sure, I'll just go oppress, you know, my parents, my families, my friends, because I'm a guard, serving the corrupt king, because he told me to. Like, I feel like at some point you'd be like, man, I don't want to freaking oppress my family, my friends, you know, my neighbors. I mean, maybe some of your neighbors, but... Oh, another armory. Wood cane, that's probably what she already has. Iron armor's crap. A laser shield. That's probably pretty good. But it's like 5,000 gold, so... Oh, one of these has got to be a secondhand shop. Oh, thank God. Oops, not buy. What is a magic hat? I might have to buy a magic hat. I don't know what it does, but I want one. But I need to sell, is what I need to do. Sell. See, I was watching a show on Netflix recently. It's been very bizarre. because here in the U.S., obviously our culture is very heavily based off of Christians, Christian belief, Christian founding. I think that's what our laws and most of our societal norms are based off of. It sort of changed and evolved over time because of the separation of church and state and whatnot. But I think a lot of our Western countries are based heavily on, Christian founders. And so, like, a lot of our movies here in the U.S. are of, like, the Crusaders, fighting for Jerusalem. And, the Crusaders are a bunch of heroes who are, often haunted by all the people they've killed and all the terrible things they've done in the name of God. But, they're always the good guys. So I started watching this show that I saw on Netflix, because it was just in, like, a recommended pile, and I was like, oh, it's got swords and dudes and armor and stuff, like, that's kind of my deal, so I went to watch it, and I thought it was a movie, and then I found out it was a series with 2 seasons, and I was like, oh, that's way more than I thought there was going to be. And then I found out that season 1 was like 75 episodes, and I was like, good God. Because I was not expecting that much of a time investment from something I thought was a movie. It's not bad. It's okay. But the show is called, Resurrection Ertugrul. And the reason I bring all this stuff up is because it's very strange watching it, because it's essentially like the Crusades, the same sort of, like, heroic story during the Crusades of these men and stuff. But Ertugrul and his people are Muslims. So, oftentimes they're talking about the infidels, and the, freaking, Templars and Crusaders and stuff like that are the bad guys. And of course there's a lot of action sequences where the Muslims just, like, tear through the Crusaders. Just like the Crusaders never learned how to fight and their chainmail is worthless. It's really weird. Like, it's not bad, again, but, like, it's very bizarre after, like, being brought up in this culture, I think, to see it from that, like, angle. So that was unusual. But yeah, so I got pretty deep into the show. I think I'm, like, nearing the end of the first season now. And there was one part where, like, there was a grand betrayal or something like that, where this one guy, like, sort of overthrew the leader. It was sort of a mutiny sort of thing. And all the soldiers worked with the mutineer to overthrow their current king. And I was just sitting there the whole time like, why are these guys okay with this? They're working against their tribe. Like, and against their leader for this one guy because he said so. And, like, even though the king guy was like, how dare you? Like, the guys were like, sorry, we're working on his orders. It's like, are you kidding? Yeah, I'm glad I checked the food store, because I was not expecting this to be where the polymeterol was. That's what I want. But yeah, so I just thought it was weird that these guys were so willing to... And then, of course, they enforce this rule, too. Like... And there were so many people that, like, this guy was like, oh, I'm secretly working with the Crusaders. And, like, people found out about that, sort of. That he was a traitor. And they were still working with him. And I was like, what the heck is going on here? Also, is this place gonna be a big old dungeon thing? I just don't want to wander into this place if it's gonna be a big old dungeon thing. I'll check it out later. It's the house at the end of the road, okay. But yeah, so that was... It's interesting but strange. Anyone who wants to check it out, I encourage you to give it a try. If it sounds interesting or amusing. But just be aware that it is very much, it's a sort of like, I mean, it's very much showing that the Muslims as heroes, which, you know, I don't think is like a good or bad thing. You know, because I don't really have any religious bias personally. But, like, I always have a bit of a problem when it seems kind of like a show is, or, you know, anything really is trying to be like, our religion is the correct thing, or our belief is the right one, and everyone else is wrong. Like, even in Fern Gully, it's like, I support, you know, protecting the rainforests and stuff. Like, that's a great message, right? I 100% support it. But Fern Gully was very heavy-handed, and it's like, oh, technology's evil, and people are chopping down rainforests, and, like, it's black ooze, and the fairies are like, whoa, dude, you... Well, no, it was 90s-ish, so it's really outdated, but it's pretty heavy-handed in its environmentalism, and that makes me kind of uncomfortable. It's when people are heavy-handed with, like, our beliefs are right, and you should believe them too, and here's why. Like, it's not that I disagree, it's just I don't like being told what to do. Anyways, I'm standing around here because I'm ending the episode. I'll finish checking out Abion, and then start journeying back to the lab. Or not quite to the lab, I guess. What's it? Bortavo? Bortavo? Yeah, Bortavo. I'll head back to Bortavo to see if I can't find myself a robot.